I absolutely despise this whole us against them mentality throughout the interwebs. Like, if you have this idea and you think that this is absolutely a wonderful idea that everybody who even has a speck of a brain should believe in, and anybody who is against it, or God forbid, is neutral, is automatically against you and personally hates everything good within the world, well, I hate to break it to you, but you're in a cult, dude. Everything thought up by humans, especially ideologies, are not perfect and should be subject to criticism and change. There is always another side to an argument, and nobody should ever be too attached to an ideology. This ideology is not your girlfriend. It's a human construct created by other people. Because when you are too attached, you are not thinking critically. You're simply spitting back out the ideas of another person, and that has proven to be historically dangerous. Ideologies that are well-meaning or have good intentions, which appeal to many people, are shown to be incredibly harmful. Take Nazism, for example. Hey, let's restore Germany's economy and give people's jobs again. Swell idea. Who could be against this? This is amazing. A couple of good rules for determining whether something is dangerous or not is to, number one, focus on the specific things they do instead of the things that they say. Number two, ask yourself whether their arguments appear to inspire you to become angry rather than make you think critically. Number three, look at their debates and see whether or not people are repeatedly using virtually the same arguments. Number four, see whether they like to shame people to win debates, denouncing them with prerogatives like you hate X people or you're anti-X, even though the people they're arguing against are obviously not. Number five, most of all, see if there is a form of the aforementioned you are either with us or against us mentality within the movement. Okay, so far I haven't talked about specific ideologies I think are dangerous because I wanted you guys to come in with an open mind, but I still think some things must be addressed, and this is important. Israel, Palestine. Just the mention of these words can cause families to tear apart and riots to erupt. After I made the video on that topic, I found out through the comments that I was a propagandist for both Israel and Gaza. I sincerely still want to believe that some of those comments were trolling, but nevertheless, one of the themes I saw present from radicals on both sides included the utter lack of empathy to the plight of the other side, the denial of the existence of a legitimate other side of the argument, the hatred of the other side, and the denial of anything their own side could have done wrong, instead focusing all the blame on the actions of the other side. And I've seen this not only on my video, but all over the internet, both from the Free Palestine people and the ultra-hardcore Zionists. And I like to believe that my position is mostly neutral, so if I had to pick, I'd still favor the Israel government a little bit. For example, I support both countries' rights to exist, I sympathize with the loss of human life on both sides, and recognize that neither side is just the perfect angel who can never ever make the wrong decision. Now, I'm not going to elaborate on the specifics because I'm already starting a flame war by just mentioning Israel, Gaza. But from that position, I would find it illogical to say that I'm a propagandist for the other side because I didn't explicitly back the every action of one country or distort the facts the way you want it or omit the facts, which, by the way, is the whole definition of propaganda. This is absolutely ridiculous. Radicals of any kind, if you want to find bad ideas, just go to the political spectrum, pick a direction, and start moving. The right has its multiculturalism is white genocide bullshit, and the left has its if you don't believe every claim I make, you are a racist, a sexist, a misogynist, a right-wing man-child game bro lunatic who, did I mention, hates women. Feminism has some of the classic symptoms of the us against them mentality. You hear so many of these feminists say, oh yeah, feminism is about equality. There is nothing in between. If you're not a feminist, you're a sexist. But whenever you hear one of their Facebook, Tumblr, or Twitter rants, you never see them bring up the specific things they think feminism has done for equality. I mean, some of them might say, oh, but 90 years ago, we did this, or oh, but 50 years ago, we did this. What I really want to know is what specifically happened within the last 20 years that is relevant, that helped forge gender equality. And when you start to hear their arguments, you see that these are not necessarily the best solution to the problem. Well, we used affirmative action to bring down the gender wage gap. Or we taught young men not to rape in universities by forcing them to go through patronizing sexual consent seminars. We talked about concepts like male privilege to our children, concepts that they cannot begin to comprehend or think critically of for themselves about. Or we made a scientist cry. I mean, it's okay if you as a feminist decide to support the existence of concepts like rape culture or the wage gap. Now, I don't personally agree with them, but if you want to say, hey, this is what feminism aims to strive for, then I'll defend your right to hold these beliefs. But don't go generalizing your entire ideology with saying, oh, it promotes equality. And it obviously promotes concepts that not everybody agrees with. Because I want to say, hey, I don't agree with your points. Here is why, here are the facts to back up my reasoning. The most dangerous part about that us against them is that it turns people with commonly shared beliefs against each other. Just because someone does not agree with you does not mean that they are the worst thing that has happened to the world. Does not mean that they personally have it out for you.